Okay, I'm going to do a short bonus for you guys because I did get a little bit interrupted, but I mean, I was still able to do basically most of the work. So let's do it. This is for Mars, May 2021. So we're going to do a second problem solution, how we get there kind of thing. So it's going to get a little shaky because I am on my bed now, but we're going to do another one. So again, I'm using the Awakening Aeon Tarot. All right, so we have the Queen of Cups is the problem, the Aeon is the solution, and the Queen of Swords is how to get there. I don't know if I can. Okay, I can. Just a little bit. Let me move it over just a bit. And the audio may be a little bit louder because I am like way, way next to this. So anyway, we have the Queen of Cups is the problem, the Aeon as the solution, the Queen of Swords is how to get there. So automatically, when we have Ace of Cups, you can see it, Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So essentially here, this is the Judgment card, but we need to make a judgment carrying over from last video on our actual emotions, on like why we're doing things, on why we are making these decisions. So the Queen of Cups, you want to make sure that you're at an Ace of Cups kind of like level, that you are kind of open, you're connected, you're able to see things, you're able to understand your emotions, things like that. You have to have like some sort of self-knowledge, and that's where the Queen of Cups comes in, because you're gonna have to make judgment calls about this. You're gonna have to make judgment calls about your emotions or what to do, things like that. On a practical level with Taurus, because it's 2/3 of the month, you're gonna have to do that. And then Gemini, you're gonna have to do it, but it's like it may become a struggle because Gemini is more about communication and the mind and things like that. And sometimes you may feel like mentally you're kind of like hijacked. You're not really focusing on emotions, you're focusing on communication, you're focusing on doing, and that becomes like a huge issue because if you're not focused on emotions, at least some of the time, you may lack tact, you may lack information and self-awareness, and how to communicate comes through that sort of self-awareness of how you communicate. And so it's just a whole thing when it comes to that. So just make sure that when you start this process or start this journey or do these things, that you are able to see how you are growing and evolving or not, or devolving throughout the entire process. Make sure that you understand that you have a mind and you have emotions. You have reasons for doing the things you're doing. You have an understanding of the reasons you're doing. And that way you can produce the best thing that is truly of yourself because you know yourself. And so if you don't know that the reason you're doing this is to get back at your boyfriend, then, you know, that lack of awareness wreaks havoc on your life. Like if you got dumped and now, you know, you saw that he got with a nurse and you never wanted to be a nurse. You actually really wanted to be like, I don't know, like a car mechanic. You know, this puts you in a pickle if you don't know yourself. And if you enter relationships that never challenge you to get to know yourself or dissolve because you don't know yourself and give you the space to learn it, you want to be a car mechanic. Well, now all of a sudden you're looking up nursing things and you're looking up, oh, if I only do these credits, if I only do this, if I only do that, then, you know, I'll be a nurse in about 5 years. what ends up happening is you don't make decisions that, with this Aeon, you don't make decisions that are good. You make decisions that are poorly researched, that are poorly thought out, that are underestimated the effort and the time that it takes to do it. Nursing takes a long time. Nursing, you would have to get like a BSN, an MSN, things like that. Like that takes time. But if you're running away from certain emotions or certain circumstances, but generally emotions and how you feel about things, instead of owning it and, discussing it openly with yourself at least, if not other people, such as a counselor or friends that you need to communicate to, or family or whatever. If you're not doing that, then it becomes harder. It's almost like if you're not doing it, it comes through another person, but you should be that person. It's to develop the skill of you should be that person. You should have that capacity because you need that capacity to do what it is that you do. So focus on that. Make sure that you're not backing away from making those critical decisions and thoughts, and that you are stepping up to the plate to do this. Just because it's important for you to grow and develop. But if you're going to produce things and make things out in the world, what you thought a year ago, if you make mistakes, you make mistakes, right? But at least when you make mistakes, you can call them out. If you make posts and 5 years from now, you're like, oh shit, like this is really terrible. Like, I should take this down or something like that, because that happens. A lot of people, we say things on social media. That's why I keep my shit private. But you say a lot of things, and then, a few years later, I don't know if you can hear the lawn thing going on, but you do things, and then years later you regret it. But the thing about it is, if you have the self-awareness, at least you can forgive yourself for being in that space and producing what you felt like producing when you were in that space, or what you felt like needed to be produced because you were in that space, or what you felt like it's expected of you to produce when you're in that space, right? When you're angry, some people, they have the idea when you're angry, you're supposed to punch walls, or you're supposed to kick down stuff, or you're supposed to hurt people. Not when you're angry, you pause, you breathe. We actually were talking about this in my massage class. You breathe, you you do a bunch of stuff that society tells you or you see and things like that. And so the judgment call is making judgment on the cycles that you have as well. And Mars does deal with aggression, so that kind of stuff is helpful to understand, to go forward with your own life, to make sure that you aren't messing up things that don't need to be disturbed, or just understanding yourself so you can go through life with as few hiccups as possible, especially by your own doing, through your own lack of self-awareness, or your own inability, or not even inability, but your own resistance to it. So that's all I had to say. This is the bonus for May 2021 Mars, or Mars May 2021. I hope you enjoyed this bonus. But yeah, that's what you have to work on. You got to work through emotions. You got to make judgment calls about them, and then strengthen yourself up when it comes to that. So take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video. If you want to check out any of the other planet videos, then go ahead and do that. You can just go, on the videos tab, and you'll see all of them for the month. I have one planet left, I think, Moon, and that'll be it. Stay tuned for the book review for the book club, and maybe some other videos. I might talk about my decks more, things like that. So stay tuned, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.